live. As we mentioned earlier, there were a couple of different topics we were looking at going into this evening. Of course, one was the Indonesian volcano that erupted, forcing residents to flee. And that was a very, very powerful volcano. Here's a video footage of it there offshore there. There were people running for their lives when this thing went off. That Israel is bracing for a war with Iran. There are certain issues that are going on there, and there is belief that areas north of Tel Aviv, all the way up to Haifa, would be that target. And Iran has actually stated that in their newspaper, an independent, editorial that was published, that Haifa should be targeted. And I'm sure they would, if Haifa was targeted, it would be in response to the fact that this is Israel's hub center, where China has also built the port there. Asteroids that are turning into meteorites, well, they don't turn into it. It's just when they enter our atmosphere, they're then called a meteorite rather than an asteroid. Just like they say, it was like a full moon. This one, though, over Japan, just like they say, it was like a full moon. Because a lot of people ask, where are all these asteroids at? Well, they're definitely starting to come in now, and very frequently, because I just did a little bit of research and was amazed at the number of video captures that have come out here just in the last few days. Look at this one right here. That's over Japan. They're going to show a different one. That thing there, talking about bright, my gosh, almost more like the sun than the moon. That appears to be different cameras, but the same asteroid there. So very good size to it. And then we have this one here. This one, though, there we go. You see that one there. That one was
3 years. It's right over here in this very active region. I mean, it looks hot. Got some very bright flux ropes hanging off of the southeastern limb. See that backflow that came off of that M flare? Very, very impressive. I think this is going to be a very active solar cycle 25-inch crescent moon visible from Orlando, Florida. He also noticed this object in the sky, not claiming to know what it is, and he didn't know what it was either. He said it was more red than anything, something zipping through the sky and actually leaving a trail above Chinese lanterns, but not 100% sure. Had a unique shape in the sky out of the rainbow, or at least in the direction of the rainbow. This one here was not too far from him either. Mike E. out of Richfield, Utah. Ominous, the volcano eruption. There's the eruption visible from Zoom Earth, and you can see the smoke billowing across the water over to a neighboring island, where something comes off of the coast of this neighboring island, and it looks like some sort of a weird shock wave. It's hard to explain. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Here we go. Out of this big, tall cloud. Check this out. I'm stepping it forward 10 minutes at a time is what I'm doing. You're going to see what looks like a big crescent come out of that cloud there. Check this out. Looks totally out of place. See it right there?
What is that?
I mean, how do you describe that? Looks like
we have breaking news coming out of the Middle East. They're right on the border of Iraq and Syria. Yet another Iranian official, this time an Iranian Revolutionary Guard commander, targeted by a drone. No doubt Israel, once again, United States, who knows, both these countries are preparing for a war with Iran. And we know that, as I mentioned on Fact News Network just moments ago in another breaking news story there, that the United States President Donald Trump is at Camp David. He's been there for about a week, meeting with his generals there. He's going to shake up at the Pentagon. They are getting ready to go to war with Iran. Mossad intel that we've been getting in as well. Iran and Israel are going to go to blows very shortly. They're preparing. Now we have our good friend, Israeli journalist, sending information that Hezbollah is basically running for the hills, knowing as they're leaving their post in the Lebanon Valley, knowing that Iran has made the decision to strike. And seeing this here, another one of their officials being shot and killed. Iran has already said they would not tolerate any more hit and runs. It says here, an airstrike killed a commander of the Iran's Revolutionary Guard at the Iraq-Syria border sometime between Saturday and Sunday. Iraqi security and local militia officials said on Monday they could not confirm the identity of the commander, who they said was killed alongside 3 other men traveling in a vehicle with him. The vehicle was carrying weapons across the Iraqi border and was hit after it had entered Syrian territory, 2 Iraqi security officials separately said. Iran-backed Iraqi parliamentary groups helped retrieve the bodies, the 2 officials said, without elaborating or giving the exact time of the incident. Local military and militia sources confirmed the account, although Reuters was unable to verify independently that an Iranian commander had been killed. Anyway, I'm Steve Banu. You're listening to Israeli News Live. Please do.
I'm a Malay. I'm not an American. I've never been to America. I'm a Malaysian who's currently living in Taiwan. But in this dream, I was in America. I was standing on the road. It seemed like a busy road. People just walking around, and there were very tall buildings on my left and my right. I'm estimating about, I think, 50 to 70 floors. And suddenly there was a bomb dropping somewhere right in front of my face, and caused a huge explosion. I've never seen anything like this before. I've only seen explosion in like maybe history book or sometimes in a movie or like media for a while, but I've never actually seen it right in front of my eyes. So everything perished. After the bomb, everything perished. I didn't have fear, and I didn't die, of course, because you can't die in your dream. If you die in your dream, you cannot wake up. So after the explosion, the scene just jumped back to my country in Malaysia. I was in my room, and there was a huge earthquake. I'm currently living in Taiwan, and Taiwan always experienced earthquake. But this earthquake in my dream in Malaysia was nothing like what I had experienced before. It was just so huge, just shook. I felt like the whole earth was just shook it to the core. Malaysia is not a country with earthquakes. If there's any earthquake in this country, I'm very sure that the whole nation cannot handle it. Please pray for Malaysia. So what do? You accept Jesus now, if you haven't already.
We don't serve the heathen and Gentiles deity. That's deity. That's why we went into slavery. You only serve the Creator only. She don't know any better, because a lot of these heathen and Gentiles just don't know any better. They've been taught nothing but lies, and they push lies on you, forced to slavery, and pushed onto your churches, pushed on you by your parents, and so forth as you grew up to teach you nothing but lies. You brainwash. If you brainwash the slave, you don't have to fucking enslave the slave. The slave will enslave themselves.
Atas sana jalan akses itu sudah kena lava juga. Di atas yang masuk ke arah Supiturang itu sudah kena lava, dan rumahnya di kos sudah habis.
Bersih, alhamdulillah, dari paling selamat pertama besok sih Mas.
ekskavator yang tertimbun itu di sana masih ada satu kelihatan.
In the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire.
Untung di pinggir ini nggak, yang di tengah-tengah sana ekskavator udah habis, bahkan yang siap.
Mr. J is coming. Mr. J, as you know, is the son of Mr. Z, who is the devil. So it's the son of the devil coming, who's gonna do some fucked up shit for a short period of time. Then, as you know, the creator is gonna send some good guys to whoop his ass, and we're gonna go back on top.
To another dream. Started off that all the Christians were raptured, and we were like, I can't believe there was a
Rapture means that your ass is getting taken up by Planet Hell, suck the Planet Hell, because you're going to Planet Hell. So if you are believing in Mr. J, a Christian, you might want to stop, because the plane that sucks you day and night is Planet Hell. That's why in Revelation tells you it will suck you up day and night. So if you Christians don't want to stop being Christians, and all you outside, all you rogue religions, period, don't want to stop being rogue religions, then you're just going to be getting sucked up in Planet Hell, because that's where folks who are religious got to go, because they are worshiping devils. The Creator didn't give us religion. He gave us His law, and we're supposed to be good to each other and follow His commandments, but instead people decide to do the devil's law and then be lawless and do whatever they want.
true rapture. And people were saying, no, they were abducted by aliens. And everyone was shuffled together in one place. And we were stuck in a room. There were like hundreds of people. And they were pushing us outside, single file in a line. When we get outside, there's this bunch of people standing outside too. And there's this large UFO. And there's these men standing.
And the only other rapture is you are gonna be killed with a guillotine because you won't take the mark. There's your rapture. And then the spirit will go up to see the Creator because you didn't take the mark of the beast, you wouldn't take the vaccination, so they cut your head off with a guillotine. That's why the government has ordered a whole bunch of them. Just being honest, FEMA camps, bro.
Standing outside the entrance into the ship. And they have these microchips in their hands. And people are taking them and walking into this ship. And I took the chip and I held it in my hand and I hid it. And I was acting like I had taken the chip, and I saw that some other people were doing the same thing. And then all of a sudden the scene changes and I'm standing outside this really large building, and I'm standing outside with a bunch of people, and there's a bunch of people inside this building, and these are all people that have been chipped. And there's a few that have not, that are around me. And all of a sudden we see this huge, it's like a weapon. There's a laser.
If you get chipped, the demons are coming to put you on a slave ship and take you, a slave spaceship that is, and take you to another planet to enslave you at another planet called Planet Hell, and many other planets.
That came through the clouds, and it was shooting at the building, and it would literally leave like these large holes right through the building where the beam had gone through. And it was tracked everywhere where the people were. They could track them. They were shooting them and killing them. And I seen there were children there, but there were no kids under the age of 10, I would say. They were all 10 and above. So we were running when the beam started, and there were military vehicles, so we ran into these military vehicles, and then the one vehicle, the person that was going to drive it, he was scared and he gave up. So I told people in that vehicle to cram into the vehicle that I was in. And all of a sudden the scene changes and I'm running. I know that if we don't get out of there, we're going to get killed. And there's this pathway, it's green, and I see at the head there's a field and there's trees all around it. And I say, come, we can go hide in there. Let's go. So we start running, and by the time we get to the shed, a lot of people got lost on their way to the shed. And I have 3 children left, and I say, come in here, we gotta be very quiet, we'll hide in here. And all of a sudden, it's like there's these three old ladies, but I could tell they were demons there, but they just had the appearance of these sweet old ladies. And I was telling these children, be very quiet, be very quiet. And this one girl was making a ruckus, and I was very serious with her. You have to be quiet. And then I woke up, and it was 3:16 when I woke up. And whenever I have these dreams, I always go read Bible verses at that time that I wake up. So the verse that I came up with was Deuteronomy 31:6, and it says, be strong and of good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, it is that doeth up with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee.
So only depend on the Creator, not the L word. L word is also pagan. Depend on the Creator, and do not fail these devils. Do not spare these devils. The devil gives you fear, the Creator doesn't.
And a friend of mine told me to go to start to work and get the word out. So, not that I can tell you this much, that God is very much involved with COVID going on. The way people are breaking into stores, cops killing people, not just black people, but people in general. All I can tell y'all is if you aren't spiritually prepared, hold on. You guys aren't spiritually prepared. You need to get yourself prepared. Because I believe that God's coming back soon. But anyways, just pay attention to everything that's going on around you guys.